Hi everyone, my name is Usa Suayroop. I am Thai, based in Bangkok, Thailand. I am ICF coach, PCC. I am executive leadership coach. I have known Coach Margaret for uh, half of a year, maybe, and I know subject because of her as well. She's inspired me. She empowered me. She is my coach, Margaret.
Thank you so much, because you're really a go getter, okay? And so we both belong. Okay, I can hear the dogs. Can you close the door a little bit or
Uh,
a window? Okay.
is it better?
It is what it is, okay? So Usa and I met through this organization called Reciprocal Coach, okay, through the International Coach Federation. So since I wasn't allowed to coach at work, a bunch of us coaches, we got together and coached each other so we could get our coaching hours so we can apply for our certifications. Okay. And so working with USA, I learned a lot from her. And the thing of it is that she came prepared, okay, as a client ready to do the work. Okay. And so we worked together very well on the issues. We worked together for 6 sessions, okay, an hour or whatever. We rearranged the time based on our schedule. And she had specific goals that she wanted to work on during the time that we were working together. Okay, 6 sessions. And then we helped to develop
Yes,
each other. And here we are today.
yes,
Uh,
correct.
so talk to us about your work specifically that you're doing now. I see that you got recognition on LinkedIn.
Yeah, after I finished the reciprocal peer coaching program with Margaret, which is at that time I was still in the corporate world as a leader, a head of administration department. And after that, I left the company to do on my own. I am now a full-time coach. I am transforming myself as well, actually, after talk to Margaret for 6 sessions like that. I got some new ideas from her to become like a leader, not to lead the others, but I lead myself as well inside and then outside like that. So now I have more opportunities to do what I like, I love, I enjoy, which is to do the coaching session with individually and also the team and group coaching. I have learned a lot as well with the new opportunities. I become the coach provider with several coaching platforms, and I really like um, having the conversation with international and also local clients. Yeah.
So in your coaching, what is the common thread that you're finding with these individuals that they're challenged with?
Actually, there are so many challenges doing the coaching session, but it depends on individually as well. Everyone is unique. I would like to say that because some client they are reflective person, they are a quick learner. They can work with themselves internally very well, but some client they cannot do that. As a coach, we need to help them and also having a deep understanding about every unique client as well. The most challenging part is about when the client didn't know what to reply because they have never thought about themselves in this way, that way, those way when the coach keep asking in several any other aspect. and help them to get the goal that they would like to achieve, like that. So is that make sense to you?
It makes perfect sense. Now, typically, we recommend that when we get a client that they work with us a minimum of 3 months to help with behavioral change. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. One session, two session probably is not enough. If we would like to help them get sustainable growth, we need to have the package to help them. At least 6 session, 12 session. It depends on the topic, how complicated or how it's not too complicated. So we need to get the agreement first before we are going into the real coaching session, like that.
Exactly. Now we know when a client comes to us, they may come to us for time management, say for example. But if you go through the wheel of life, you're looking at your health, you're looking at your finances, okay, your business, your family, all these different things that you say are important to you, right? Then you come to find out it's more than just time management. You might have other internal issues at work, you know, and it might be stress related to your relationship. It might be something with your kids. It's not just one thing, as we know. It's a multitude of things that affects us on a daily basis, right?
Yeah.
So, what do you say to that?
Yeah, I agree with that. Even though the client have their own specific goal, but we need to find out the exactly real goal that they probably have. They may never realize or they may never notice about that, but we could dig deep into that goal and explore a little bit more about the goal that they would like to talk. First goal that they think about uh, in that moment maybe not the real goal. The real goal probably is another goal that they didn't express in the right moment or in the right time. But we as a coach, we could explore more and get into the real goal that they would like to talk about, which is deep. The goal that they bring up into the table maybe is just a surface. But if the coach have so many experiences to dig deeper into that surface goal, we could get the real deep goal from the clients. And actually, Margaret did that with me as well. So I learned from her during the 6 session.
Well, thank you so much for saying that, because coaching, we have the standards, everybody have their various framework depending on the specific coach that they have already set up, So the thing is, for me being intuitive, I feel things. I see things
Mhm.
that the client doesn't see because I'm on the outside looking
Yeah,
in. Okay. So it behooves us to address these things. These are things that we see that are underneath the iceberg, okay? The things that we all have behind this mask that we try to keep hidden, okay? And that's where we need to get to with that client, okay?
yeah,
That's where the real transformation comes from, looking at these patterns and triggers and behaviors. Okay.
mhm,
Even though we're not a coach, we still have these gifts and tools that we can use to pique people's interest. I'll ask you a question. Well, how do you feel about that? Where do you feel it in your body? Okay. That'll make you understand that's where a lot of these things are hidden. Okay.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. And when we can go deeper since the beginning of the session. So at the end of the session, we can go very deep to get the inside outcome from the client and they achieve what they want to achieve in the deeper level, like that.
Absolutely. And you cannot do that in one session. The first session basically is the introductory. We're dating. Okay. So I'm going to find out a little bit more about you, find out a little bit about
Mhm.
me. And that way we start to build and trust and with this rapport. Okay. We have to establish that first before the client feel comfortable enough to open up to us. Right.
Yeah, and I also would like to encourage if anyone is not a coach, but you are interested in becoming a coach, you can use the coaching conversation, trying to get familiar with that coaching conversation first, and then could help you to become a coach, a professional coach one day. Me and Margaret can help if anyone is interested to learn how to use coaching conversation to talk to anyone, anybody, helping them
And, it,
to moving forward like that. Yeah.
and these coaching skills, not only help us with clients, but it also help us with problematic people that comes in our path, whether it's potential lovers or potential um, um, employers, okay,
Mhm. Mhm.
teammates or whatever. We also utilize these skills in conflict resolution, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Right. And a lot of it has to do with reading about people's body language, which I learned as a child. Okay. So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is that your phone?
Uh, yeah.
Do you need to take that?
No, no, no.
Okay.
We can
Just
keep
want to
going.
just want to check. Yeah. So a lot of things come into play with coaching that I didn't learn in coaching school. I learned from the school of hard knocks. Okay. And then with the NLP, being able to match the person's body language, being able to match the tone of their voice, being able to match the speed, and all of these things help to establish rapport and trust. Without trust, there is no
Mhm.
relationship.
Mhm. Yeah, to build a rapport, it's to admire, to encourage them, to see something good about them very positively. And anything that you would like to add when we build a rapport, create trust like that, Margaret?
Yeah, and that is about being non-judgmental,
Mm,
okay?
mhm, mhm,
And not to criticize, because once you criticize somebody, the relationship is over. Period. There is no trust. The trust is broken. It's irreplaceable. So as you start that relationship, you must be consistent throughout. Because if you show any signs of you know what I'm saying, if you show any negative signs towards a
mm,
person,
mhm, mhm,
they're not gonna want to continue with you. They're not gonna want to talk to you, period. So it's very critical during that relationship that you take all of these things in consideration because it's a partnership. The
mhm,
ICF changed their standards to say, no, this is not like a client coach relationship. This is a partnership. You're walking hand in hand together. Okay. You're making decisions together based on what you want and how you see yourself. Envision yourself getting to island B. We're on island A. How are we going to get to island B? Well, you're going to tell me because you have a certain specific characteristics, personality, and
mhm.
you just want to set yourself apart from everyone else. Okay. So, how can we do that? What are your gifts? What are your skills? How can we utilize these things to achieve your overarching goal? Right?
Yeah, we can apply not only in the coaching session, in any other situation, or even when we are starting the meeting with business partner, with people. In any situation, we can create trust since the beginning. Building the rapport since the beginning is very helpful.
Yes, and that is what's going to sustain this relationship when
Yeah.
when you decide to end it, okay? Because we our job is to come into your life for a specific amount of time, not forever, okay? However long,
Yeah.
okay, however long that is. If you're gonna pay me for 3 months or 6 months or 10 years, once you say, okay, I've reached all our overarching goals, and I no longer need your services. Applaud
Yeah.
that, because that means you've reached the pinnacle that you wanted to reach, okay? But you cannot do that if you don't put in the work. If you don't do the work, I'm not a magician, okay? I can't just put out some wands and say, okay, you healed. I mean, not healed, but you reached the point where you wanted to get to. You have to do the work, right? We have
But
to
we
do
will,
the work.
yeah, exactly agree. And we will follow up the progress as well. If the progress going well, we will encourage the client to do more. If the progress didn't work well, we could help them to get back on track.
Providing they've done the work. Now, I'm not going to waste
Yeah.
my time. After a couple of months, I see you've not made any progress. I'm going to ask you. Uh, I don't see that we've made any progress here. So
Mm-hmm.
there's only
Mm-hmm.
two things. Two things can happen at this point. Okay, I can recommend you another coach. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
somebody else that might be much more amenable to you, because I think being in the military, I have to be. I try to be diplomatic, okay? I can't put a fire under somebody's butt and say, you're going to get this done today, not tomorrow. You're going to do it today. I can't do that, okay? I would love to, but I'm like, okay, why are we here? I'm not going to take any more of your money, okay? Because we are not making any progress here. So I'm going to let you go, and you figure out what you want to do from here. Okay, here's some referrals for you. Maybe somebody else here would be more advantageous, because I'm not going to waste my time. You're wasting your time and their time, right? You have to look at it for what it is. If they're bringing you down, if they're bringing you down and they're not doing nothing and you're not getting anything out of it, then you feel like you're worthless because they're not, you know what I'm saying? So you have to cut ties. You have to cut ties and say, okay, baby, you go your way and I'll go mine. And that's okay. I'm serious. You're looking at me like that. What you think about that?
Yeah, we offer them and let them decide. I agree with that. Yeah, let them decide whether they would like to keep going with us or with the referral that we also provide for them to make the decision. I think this is fair enough for us. It's win-win as well.
Yeah, yeah, because we have to have healthy relationships.
Yeah.
I don't want an unhealthy relationship with nobody, even if you're paying me. Okay? I can take your money all day long, but if I'm not giving you any value, if you're not getting anything out of it, and I'm not getting anything out of it, we'll just wash our hands and we can agree to disagree and move on. Okay? We can have an agreement there. Okay?
Yeah.
And that way you can focus on the people that really want and need your help,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right. Agree. Yeah.
We have to have discernment. This is a partnership. And if you're not getting your needs met and they're not getting their needs met, then there's no relationship, and it's just best to cut ties. Because
Mhm.
I've been in these with these clients, and every week I come back, well, how did everything go? And nothing changes. I'm like, what the hell? Okay. Even me in my own life, I made some changes in a day, in a day. And you mean tell me you couldn't do nothing? Okay, baby, I'll talk to you later. Okay. I don't have no patience. I don't have no patience for that. So that's where we are today with that situation, right?
Yeah. And we can also do another thing to create the coaching agreement to sign the contract since the beginning. And then if anything not going well or if anything happen, we can go back to the contract that we signed together.
Absolutely. And it may be that, that their what they was wanting to achieve changed during the time they signed the agreement. And that's fine. It's like, okay, let's revisit the agreement
Mhm,
and let's
mhm,
talk about how we need, excuse me, to modify it to meet your needs and get your goals met. Okay. And so that's
yeah.
fine. That's okay because we know life is changing every day. I might have came to you to talk to you about limiting beliefs so I can, for example, being seen. That's a problem for me, So that issue might can be resolved in coaching. But it's when I look at it, that's a past event. Okay. So to do justice for you and for me, you could tell me, well, Margaret, I think we can work together, but you also need to go to therapy because that's tied
Mhm,
to your past. Okay.
yeah,
So we can work together on this, but you need to work on this in therapy. That
yeah.
way, we are doing the client good and us. We have to have these difficult conversations. We cannot skip
Mhm,
around it. We can't go over it, under it, around it because we're not doing ourselves or the client we're doing them a disservice if we're not honest.
yeah,
Okay?
agree,
Yeah,
agree.
because if you have a client and they come to you, you see the 3 sessions, you see you see these patterns. You have to address it. You're like, baby, I think not. I won't call them baby. I'll say, well, whatever their name is. Say if their name's Sue. Okay, if name's
Mhm,
Sue, I think you're suffering from what I'm saying. You're suffering from depression. So what I would suggest, I have a couple numbers here for a therapist that you can talk to, but we can still work together on these other issues. Okay. Sometimes you can't do them both together. Sometimes they need to go to therapy first and then come back to me later.
mhm,
Okay. So whatever
mhm.
you're doing, you need to talk to your therapist and keeping them informed, the client does, on that, hey, I'm going to coaching too, so all the dots are coming together, okay?
Mhm,
Because we all are going through traumas. We've all had traumatic events in our lives. Sometimes some people don't even remember what it is because your subconscious takes over and it blocks it out to keep you safe. So in coaching,
mhm.
sometimes a lot of things are uncovered because you've established this relationship built on trust. And and your client feel comfortable enough to talk to you about these things, and that's what you want, so
Mm,
you can continue uncovering all of these things below the surface, below the iceberg, to enable that person to heal in addition to
mm.
um, achieving their overarching goals. we're not
Yeah,
we're not therapists, okay, but we can listen and we can comment, you know what I'm saying, knowing where our lives or where our boundaries lies between the coaching and the therapy. It don't
mhm.
it don't cost it don't cost us nothing to sit there and listen, hold space for that individual because a lot of times just holding space and people wanting to vent is sometimes all they need. Okay?
Mhm.
I might
Yeah,
come to you, it's like, okay, I'm having some issues at work. I just want to vent. I just want you to sit there and listen. That's it. And then afterwards, I feel better. Sometimes that's all that's needed. Okay?
yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah, right. And because we are a coach who are not going to fix the past, we are
Right.
not going to talk about the past, but we are with the clients for now and the future. Our coaching process is the now and the future. So that is the difference.
Right. So when you have a lot of people coming to you with past events, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people, okay, still. So do you turn them away? It's a case by
Mm-hmm.
case. It's a case by case basis because a lot of people are in distress, and it just takes one thing to push them over the edge. That we don't want to see anybody to commit suicide. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's best to not to turn them away, to sit and listen, just to sit and listen. Sometimes that's good, but because we can sometimes bring people off the cliff by just sitting there and listening and showing compassion.
Yes. Agree.
So what else do you want to say? Because like I said, a lot of people are hurting, so we don't really want to
Yeah.
turn people away.
Yeah.
Give them some kind of
Mm.
assistance.
Mm. Yeah, I would like to talk about the process since we are talking about the coaching already. So we build trust already, we build the rapport, and then what about the coaching process? Is that okay if we talk about the process?
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. So the coaching process is like Margaret said, we are partnering with the client for whatever the client would like to go from A to B. B is the goal that they would like to be. A is the situation right now that existing, the current situation, right? We talk about all the things that the clients would like to share with us. And also we use the coaching conversation that I mentioned in the beginning. The coaching conversation is about asking the question in the strategic way. Margaret, what would you like to add for the powerful question that we need to use in the coaching process? What is the powerful question?
Well, it depends. It depends on the conversation. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
these are the same
Mm-hmm.
tools. These are the same tools I use in a conversation with you or anyone else. So depending on the conversation, it might pique my interest on a specific question, and I will ask you about it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
So
what's your approach? Go
yeah.
ahead.
So powerful question, it can be a simple question, but that question evoke the awareness of the client.
Open-ended question.
Yes, that is the one. That is the one. So helping the client to think deeper in themselves and working in themselves in the deeper way. If they have never thought about themselves in that way, we keep curious and asking. Anything else? What's next? Anything that you would like to see? Yeah.
And what is in the way? What's in the way?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. So that is the example of the powerful question to
Right.
help the client think. Yeah. Keep going.
It's one. Yes, it's one where you can't. It's not a yes or no question. You have to answer the question specifically, which causes you to think. Okay, think
Mm-hmm.
about this. Stepping outside of yourself and looking at it, disassociation and association. Okay, disassociating
Mm-hmm.
yourself, removing all the feelings and emotions around it. You put it like put it on a big screen in the movie theater, and you look at it first person, second person. You can look at third person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and see how you respond to that, how you feel about that. When you break a problem down and looking at the different scenarios, then you can figure out which way would be best for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so we get the client to thinking about all of these things, right? We also point out their blind spots. Okay. These blind spots, these things, if you do these things, okay, then your results might be better. Because we're looking on the outside, okay? And we can help them to walk through this and say, well, does this right here, I'm not going to give it away to them. I'm not going to enable them. I want them to think for themselves. Does
Mm-hmm.
this make sense? Does this make sense if you do it this way? It's not judgmental. That's what I'm saying. If you ask them a question like that, then they don't see it as being threatening or judgmental or being criticizing them. Okay. You're just asking a simple question, something for them to look at. Does this make sense if you do it this way? Then they'll look at it for a while and they're like, no, it doesn't make sense. I think I'll do it this way instead. See what I'm saying? It's not what you say, is how you communicate with people will make that you get the best results from that person, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The question will also link to the goal that the client would like to achieve as well. We cannot talk about some other thing else like that. Yeah.
Right,
So next,
right.
yeah.
And
Next is
during that
about,
time, I'm sorry, go ahead.
you go ahead, you go ahead.
Goal is you might have 2 or 3 goals that you want to work on, but we're only going to work
Mhm.
on one goal during the session
Mhm.
until okay, did you get what you needed from that? We want to know what steps are you going to take when we
Mm.
leave this coaching conversation today. What steps are you going to take to move towards this goal? Okay, because the real work begins after the session
Mhm.
is over, right? We want to
Mhm.
hold them accountable and responsible because this is your goal, not mine. Okay,
Yeah.
what are you going to do? And then before you end the session, okay, did you get what you needed from this session to move forward with your goal? Okay, because when
Yeah.
they come back the next session, I'm gonna hold you accountable. I want to know what you did towards that goal. What did you do? What steps did you take? Okay, maybe they didn't do so well. Okay, maybe they had a setback. A setback is still a success because you work towards the goal. Okay,
Mhm.
you got off
Yeah.
the couch or off the floor and you did something. You took some action. Okay, what did you learn from that? Okay, it didn't go so well. Okay, well, what can you do better next time? Okay, it might be just one thing you do, not not a whole bunch of things. Just one thing you can do that will make a difference in the outcome. Okay, and
Mhm.
then we're gonna be their biggest cheerleader. We're gonna be cheering them on the whole time. Okay, we're gonna support you. You know, if you need to give us a call or email or whatever, okay, we're gonna support you through that.
Yeah. For coaching process, after we set the goal, I usually use the model. The coaching model names Grow model. Have you ever heard that, Margaret?
Yeah,
Are you using the
yes.
Grow model? Same, right? Yeah.
Uh, no, but go ahead. I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
there are a number of frameworks. We know that Glow is just one.
Yeah.
How many frameworks are there?
So many.
200, 300. Okay.
Yeah. So, but the easy model that we can talk about today, after we set the goal, which is next is R about the reality, what is happening right now with the client. So, what is the current situation? So we explore in this area a little bit more, and then we can go deeper in the reality. Next step is to see the options toward the goal. We need to check the reality and talk about the options and then way forward at the end of the model. So goal model is simple to explain in this way, like this. GROW. G is the goal that we set in the beginning. R is the reality that we talk about, the reality of the client. Or it's option, what the client can do, any other opportunities, possibilities, what they can do next to achieve the goal. And at the end of the model is W is way forward. When are they going to do the step action that they come up with in the options? How confident they are, how will they hold themselves accountable? So that is the way forward. So this is the simple, easy process that we can share to everyone. Anything else that you would like to add in terms of the model and the process, the real process when we are doing the coaching session with the client like that?
Yeah, so it's very important that we establish boundaries and everything in the beginning with the contract, okay? And
Mm-hmm.
we refer back to that as often as we need to and modify. It's a work in progress. We all are
Mm.
work in progress, and if we need to change and modify, we do just that, right?
Yeah. So that's the framework. So for some other coaches may need different framework, may need different structure, but we still use the same core competencies and code of ethics by the ICF anyway. So next about the listening skill, Margaret, do you have anything to say about active listening?
Active listening. The things with the active listening is the things that are left unsaid. I like to address
Mm-hmm,
those.
mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, certain words, certain keywords as well. People say I shouldn't or I can't. Those are red flags, and I like to address those when the people say that. I was talking to somebody earlier, and they said something about, "Oh, I can't do this," and I'm like, let's reframe that. Instead of saying I can't do it, say that I'm going to work on it. We have to be aware of the language that we are using we can bring ourselves down by this language by I can't do that or I never, you know what I'm saying? These words, these are
mm,
self-defeating. These self-defeating, and we have to change our language and we have to bring these things up when they occur. Well, why would you say that? Okay.
mm-hmm,
Then you
mm-hmm,
get them to thinking, because sometimes, like my father, for example, he told me, I'll never be nothing. Okay. That's a lot of these beliefs people told us during our lives. Okay. You'll never be nothing. You're crazy. You're this, you're that. And so we have to call these things out when people say them. No,
mm-hmm,
we have to, that's how we help people to rewire their thinking, rewire their brain to more optimal thinking. Because with that
mm-hmm,
attitude, with that mindset, you're going to stay down here. You're never going to reach your goals with that type of mindset and with that type of language. And we don't realize that we also use this language with our kids. Okay?
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
we have to change how we see ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can also add to demonstrate active listening in the coaching session. So we can keep quiet and let the client talk more than us so that we can get into the deeper listening to them. So let them share, let them explain about themselves. And then we can ask the powerful question to move them going forward from there to achieve their goal. If we don't listen to them carefully, deeply enough, we cannot help them effectively. So this is also important together with maintain present. So next is about maintain present. Margaret, do you have anything to add in this skill?
Well, presence, I would say, is you're walking along the journey with the client. You're hearing, you're listening, you're feeling, you're seeing. Okay, you're
Mm-hmm.
using all of your senses to understand what they're saying. And so what you do, you repeat back to the client what
Mm-hmm.
this is what I think I heard you say. And by doing that, you're showing
Yeah,
that you are listening to the client. You show that you are showing empathy and you're showing that
yeah.
I am with you, okay, in
Mm-hmm.
this. I am present with you on this journey. And so then that makes them feel good. Okay. And that helps to keep that going, the rapport and everything, and the trust going as well.
Yeah, another two way that we can do, which is reflect back and also summarize back what we heard about themselves, so that they can feel what happened. They explain they got hurt by one another, which is the quotes that they are with them all the times in the deeper level as well.
I think this is so important because I look at it as a child when I'm talking to my parents and you look at them, they're not even listening. They're not paying attention to what you're saying. It's like, what the okay? I'm just talking to you. Did you hear anything I said? Okay. And I utilize these skills too when I'm talking to people when I was at work. Because I have
Yeah.
people from different especially when I was in Iraq and when I was in Israel because I have to repeat back what they said because I want to make sure I understood, because I might have thought you said something else, and if I thought you said that, that's not going to jive well with me. So, excuse me. Okay, can you repeat what you said, please? Okay, because I want to make sure I understood. All right, and sometimes we see that no, it wasn't. That's not what they said. So that's why it's always best not to assume.
Yeah.
Let me repeat back what I think you said. I don't care if it's a coaching conversation or not. Anybody that I'm talking to that, I want to make sure I heard you correctly. So there's no misunderstandings, okay? Because we can resolve this very, very quickly, because I don't want to leave the conversation thinking you said this and I thought you said this. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure I heard you correctly. And that helps to
Yeah.
with the relationship building as well.
Yeah. In our today's session, I think we are not able to talk about all core competencies or all coaching skill. It's not enough time to talk about that. But one more competencies that I would like to emphasize is about number eight, the core competencies number eight, the last one, to facilitate the client growth. So what do you think about these competencies? How is important, Margaret?
We have to tie in the conversation with what the client said at the beginning of the conversation. You said that you wanted to work on your marriage, whatever. So you talked about this. Okay, what about your marriage did you want to talk about? Then we have to break it all the way down to that specific goal. Okay, at the beginning of our conversation, you said you wanted to work on this issue with your marriage, that you want to make more time with your husband, and you said that what you agreed to do is to set aside Fridays at 6:00. You and your husband are going to go out for a date. Okay, do you feel that you got what you wanted from the conversation? Right? To wrap up the session, we want to wrap the session up to make sure that the client got what they needed. Okay. And okay, well, since this is what you're going to do, what steps are you going to take after you leave the session? Okay, well, I'm going to agree that I'm going to have a conversation with my husband, and we're going to schedule this weekly date. Boom. And then, right? That way, we're clear. The client got what their needs met for that session. Okay. And this is the steps that they're going to take. That's part of the learning and the growth. Okay. Right.
Yeah,
and then when they come back, what did you learn from this? Okay. Boom. Right.
Yeah. We can also ask about any other resources that they need to help them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And also accountability or the
Oh, yes.
commitment about themselves.
Otherwise, why did you come here? If you're not going to put in the work, then why did you come to the coach? I'm thinking that to myself. I don't necessarily say it like that, because they can take it in. They can take that in a number of ways. Okay, but don't come here if you're not willing to put in the work. You're wasting your time and mine. I'm saying that's part of the agreement that you're gonna have. Okay,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So I'm thinking. Yeah. Go ahead, my friend.
We're also mentors. So I don't know if you want to talk about that. You got the difference between coaching and mentoring.
Yeah. Great idea. So mentoring process. So we can give some advice, but in the coaching way. What do you think, Margaret? If I explain the mentoring session, it's about we can still using the coaching process, but we can guide them, giving them or sharing something very helpful to them and let them decide. But in the peer coaching session, we cannot giving any advice. We can not use any leading question. But the mentoring session, we can we can do that. What would you like to add, Margaret?
Well, based on what we our lived experience and our certification and everything, we can coach, we can mentor, we can be advised, we can be an advisor, okay, as well, and we can consult. We're not limited, okay, but each of these roles should have its own separate agreement. That's the only thing I would say. What do you think about that?
Yeah. And since we are a coach, we are a professional coach, we still use the coaching conversation to approach in every process. It can be done like that. What do you think?
I agree, because actually, when I'm having these conversations, I'm using all the coaching resources and tools anyway. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. And I think everyone can use the coaching conversation in any situation, in any circumstances, in any meeting. We can use that. It's very helpful to get the productive meeting, to get the productive conversation, whatever.
Absolutely. If something works, why do something different? You know, I could use that bandwidth to create other things instead, right?
Yeah. Because every conversation, we need to set the goal that we would like to talk about together. Otherwise, it's like chit-chat only. It's nothing, right?
Absolutely. We know that. And I am very thankful for this conversation today. Okay, I'm still trying to get the PCC. I signed up to take the PCC again. So I done took it 4 times. I failed by 6 points, 4 points, 2 points, 3 points. I got to pass it this time so I can move on to the next goal.
You can
Okay.
do it. You can do it. I
have
can
to
also
take
help
my-
you.
Oh,
I
really?
can
Okay.
Yeah, allow me to help you.
Yeah.
We can talk.
Yeah.
We can talk later about this exam. You mean the exam, right?
Yeah, because every time I sign up for it, I'm going through some other kind of difficulty, and it takes me
Yeah.
away from the test. And I'm like, if I don't pass it this time, I'm just not going to worry about it, because I really don't need it. It's just, I just want to have it, okay, to go to the next level.
Wow. Margaret, let me help you because I helped several coaches already to pass PCC exam. Allow me to help you.
Okay, I'll contact you. Thanks. Let me see if anybody. Let me see if anybody have any questions. Does anybody have any questions for us about if anybody want to become a certified coach or not, or if you have any other questions regarding coaching?
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if anybody. I don't see that anybody have any specific questions about coaching. Because if you decide that you want to go into a coaching program, the ICF, International Coach Federation, they have a list of accredited coaching schools, and you can choose which one that you want to attend.
Yeah, I would like to talk about something which is I am in testing for now. I would like to be more emphasized and be more serious about that, which is about team coaching. We can coach individually and also coach the team as well. Right? Yeah. But we use the same process when we do the individual coaching. But as a team, they have team members. All the team members become team because they have the same goal, one team, like that. We can also coach them to make them get higher team performance or develop team effectiveness or whatever the team would like to achieve. The coach can also help them, not only individually, but also as a team. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's the reason I went into team coaching. Because think about it, you can get $200 an hour from an individual client, but you can go into you can go into an organization, submit your proposal, and you can get ten,
Mhm.
$15,000 to coach the team as well as the team leader. So, which one do you think would be more advantageous? The $200 an hour or
Mhm.
$10,000?
Mhm.
Right? It
Yeah, yeah.
it just makes sense. Why why not work smarter than harder? That's not saying that you can't coach an individual. And the other thing is word of mouth. Okay? They're like, oh, Usa did very good. I recommend her as your coach. That's how you get more clients, okay? And so I got to send you. I got all those testimonials in there. You got to have your proof of life. Okay, if you can get the client to give you a video testimonial versus written, but all the same, it's still good. Okay, and I got all those
Yeah.
testimonials. Okay, and I started collecting new ones here from Substack. And my problem has been that I don't want to be seen. Okay, and so I got to get over that. Okay, that's something that I have to get over. And I got to the point where I can do the lives. Okay, now I have to get to
Mm.
the point where I can put out. I can design products and stuff. Okay,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
put that out. Okay, so to help me, help each other. Like Tripty, she's gonna go to next month. She's gonna go. We're gonna do this fireside chats because I know I have to up my game because as we know, I see DL Hughley is now on Substack. I'm like, oh my god, everybody's coming on Substack. So how can I set myself apart? What are the skills that you have that set you apart from everyone else? Your strengths. We have to continue to raise the bar and also to get more information. I've learned all these new things about everything I touch on Substack is all I learned from scratch. Okay. And we got to
Mhm.
continue to find all these tools that we can utilize to continue to up the game because it's just so crowded. Okay. Then you can't put everything on Substack. Then you got to figure out how to
Mm.
diversify. Okay. Now I had to
Mm.
learn how to, use YouTube. Now I'm trying to figure out, okay, well, how do I use Facebook, IG, and Threads, okay? And then, all right, everybody and their mama have a newsletter on LinkedIn. I'm like, okay, that means I got to create a newsletter for LinkedIn. I got everybody's newsletter on LinkedIn. I don't have time to read it. I never read any of them. Okay, then I'm like, do I really need that? I guess so. They have subscribers, so it's just like it's so much. How do we keep up as a coach? Okay?
Mm.
We got so many coaches out there, so many subject matter experts. You know what I'm saying? That's the
Mm.
thing.
Margaret, we have some questions.
Oh, great. Perfect. But can you answer this one first?
uh, on the chat, Margaret, can you check on the chat?
Yeah, but can you answer that question though? How
Oh,
do we keep up as a coach when we have to do all the admin stuff. We have to do all the social media. We have to do we have to go and talk to people and shake people's hands and say how you doing and this and that. How do we keep up with all that in addition to coaching and all the other things that we have to do?
yeah. So, Margaret, I can see questions from the chat box.
No, I know that, but I want you to
Oh,
answer this one first, and then we'll go back
oh,
to the questions.
which one I can answer first? Which one?
No, the one I was asking you about. All the things that we have to do in life. How do we keep up as a coach, as an entrepreneur?
Oh, got that. So I also set my goal, not to doing the work, helping the clients. That is just a surface goal. My goal is to perform better, greater every time, every day like that. I am also learning by doing. I taking a course to helping me, supporting me in terms of coaching performance as well. Because now I'm going to pursue advanced team coaching certification, meaning that is like a credential for team coaching. I am certified already as a team coaching and also group coaching. Now, in the next step, I would like to get the credential in team coaching by ICF. It's in the process now. I am going to apply within not over than 5 months. I think I could get another certification. It's ACTC, Advanced Team Coaching Certification. Is the bigger goal is to become MCC, not only PCC. I need another 2,500 hours.
Only?
Now I got only 777 hours, so it's still a long way to go, but in the process anyway. So that is how I keep myself on track. I like this way. I go this way. This is me. I am a coach. I am a professional coach. One day I'm going to be a master coach. This is my goal. I'm reminding myself every day like that.
Good for you. You're going to be the CEO of your own company. I told you that too.
Yeah, one day. Now I like to
Absolutely.
collaborate. Yeah, now what I can do is to collaborate with the other organizations. I've got so many approach from consulting company, training company, coaching company, so many other organizations that they would like me to become their team members, even sign contract for project or lots of opportunity. If we are not give up easily, we set the goal, we become determined with the goal. We commit with our goal. We can achieve anyway.
Absolutely. Now we're gonna look at some of these questions here, and I see that Sacred Storylines asked the difference between coaching and being a counselor. I'll let you answer.
Yeah. So coaching is two-way communication. Counseling I think it's one way to give them from what we experience, from what we are expert in, what they want to have from us. But if the clients would like to work by themselves, get the answer by themselves, see the opportunity, what they can do using their potential, their ability, their experiences. We can use the coaching process, helping them to get whatever they want to get by themselves. But the counselor, we give them the advice. It's the ready package that they can use that right away. So how would you like to add in this way, in terms of my understanding, the differences between one-way communication and another two-way communication? Anything else that you would like to add, Margaret?
No, I'm going to the next question.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. Kyra says she's already certified, but that was a great breakdown of the process and opportunities for everyone considering certified. Yeah, if you guys
yeah.
have any questions, you can ask me or you can ask Usa.
Yeah.
And you can also go to the ICF website as well.
So congratulations first. You are certified already. This is already great breakdown and opportunities. I agree. This is the new opportunity. You can go in the next step and next level to become a credential coach as well. But if you don't need that proof or certification, you can keep doing that and gain more experiences. You can become a professional coach as well. It depends on your goal and your target audience. If your target audience is not in the corporate world, it's not the company, you probably don't need the certification. But if your target audience is in the corporate world, companies, profit or non-profit, they probably would like to see the proof, the certification. So think about that. It depends on your target audience as well. But I have seen only many coaches that don't need that certification, but they can still do the work very well.
Absolutely, I agree with you. There's a lot of coaches out there that don't have the certificate that are millionaires, and
Yeah.
their clients are millionaires, and they don't care about whether they have the certificate or not.
Yeah.
As long as you're getting your outcome, you know,
Yeah.
what do you care about the certificate or not? I just did it because
Yeah.
I wanted to have it. Okay, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, if you're working in corporate, these companies want to see that you are a certified coach.
Yeah, but I also would like you, if you don't want to take any other courses to get credential certification or in the next step like that, you probably need to keep joining group mentoring session, keep learning, keep updating about the trends and also the techniques and tools in the coaching journey. That is my idea. Yeah.
Because regardless of what field you're in, you have to continue to learn new things. You have to continue to learn new tools because the world is
Yeah.
constantly changing. And if you don't, then you become obsolete with old information. We need to be working from the latest data that's out there, okay, to give us an edge and to give our clients the edge. Because a
Agree.
lot of people have lost their jobs, okay? And they're scrambling and trying to figure out, where do I go from here? How do I take care of my family? How do I sustain? How do I get to retirement? Okay? So, yeah, so we need to keep educating ourselves to be able to even help and bring more value to our constituents, right?
Agree. Yeah.
So let me see. Yes. Sacred Storylines. What is the per hour breakdown of the 10 to 15,000? I just basically use that as as an example. You know, your pricing depends on what you think you're worth. Okay, if you think you're only worth $100 an hour, okay, so that's one of the things a lot of coaches struggle with, is to figure out what are my offerings are going to be and what am I going to charge on an hourly basis. Okay, some people don't have an hourly rate; they charge you by the project. Okay, so it depends on you. You have to figure out what works best for you. What's your thoughts on that, Usa?
I am thinking it's also about our experiences of the coach as well. If you have high experience, you have 1,000 coaching hours, you cannot charge that $10 or $15 like that, right? It's not about your value, it's about the client's value. If the clients see your value very high, let them pay for you in that high amount as well. So let's think in two ways. Let the client decide our coaching process and coaching performance. If they see the value very high, they will pay you high. Yeah, but I agree with Margaret to set our standard first. How do you feel about your performance, your experience? And check the others, check the market, check the competitors, and you will see to estimate
Exactly.
the amount. Yeah.
Right, because some of these coaches say, "Oh, I'm gonna charge you $10,000 an hour or $10,000 for it," and you got people out there can afford to pay it. Okay, ching ching, there it is. Okay, just like somebody like Tony Robbins, for example. I'm sure he probably charged a client $20,000 or whatever. Okay, what do you think you're worth? You know, $60 an hour, whatever. It's something you have to figure out where your comfort level is. Okay, that's and
Uh,
like Usa said, you have to also check the rates what other people charge and so on and so forth.
So I can give some example. Since
Okay.
I'm working with so many coaching platforms. All the platform they provide you averagely about $50 per hour. Averagely, with credential coach, let's say, with a credential coach, at least you need to have 200 coaching hours or 300 coaching hours. You get that range is about $50 per hour based on the coaching platform that I am experienced with them.
But if you have your own private service, then you
It's
charge what you
different.
want.
Yeah,
Right.
that's different. Yeah. Just give you
Yeah,
some example.
like with Numi, for example. I used to be on Numi's site. Okay.
Oh.
I think they had like 50% or something. You get 50/50. You
Mhm.
get on these sites and then, you get clients from they have their own roster or whatever of clients, and then they have to see, the client have to see which coach they want to work with, you know.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's competitive too, okay? Because some of those things you have to bid on. You have to bid on these things, and it's no guarantee that client is going to choose you anyway after that. So I prefer to go for my own stuff instead of being
Mm.
on these services.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But to each
Good.
their own. They got these services out there. They got all these coaching directories out there. You can sign up for 10 of them. Coaching.com has one. You know, they have clients in there and they can choose. You put your profile on there and everything, and then they can decide if they want to choose you to work with you. What did he say? Saying fat thumb. Sorry, 10,000. Is that per hour? No. Say for example, this person, they want to work with you. They have a project that they're working on. They might want to work with you for 3 months, and you might
Mm.
say, "Well, okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
charge you $10,000 for that." Boom.
Yeah, you can provide your package, price package, right? Price
Right.
packages.
Right. You have a
Yeah.
package. You can say this is a 12 coaching package. You can say that. And then you can say, well, the price of this is $1,500. Boom. If they want to work with you, that's what they're gonna have to pay if they want to work with you. Period. That's why we have to establish these relationships with the client. We are nurturing these
Mm.
relationships. This is part of your funnel. Okay. Is your funnel starting in the notes? You're nurturing and cultivating these relationships so then you can put out your offerings and say, $15,000, price is it. This is the price. Take it or leave it. I'll give you a 20% discount if you pay it in full. Okay, you have to come up with ways to even negotiate with the clients. You got to work the system, not let the system work you. Okay? But first, establish this trust and rapport with the client, and you making them. They don't necessarily gonna remember what you said, but they're gonna remember how you made them feel. Oh, this coach is the best thing since sliced bread. You said you want 10,000? Boom, check in the mail. Okay. I'm saying all these things, but I have to put all this stuff into use. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, you got to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like 10,000 is too much, okay, well tell them 8,000 then. I'm just using it as a figure, okay? I'm not
Mm.
saying verbatim, okay? So are there any other questions?
Yeah.
Pricing is a personal choice, okay? You have to decide what you feel comfortable with and stick with that. Okay, you can't be wishy-washy. Once you feel
Mhm.
wishy-washy, you're gonna run the clients away. You gotta have it figured out. Okay, this is my offering and this is the price.
Yeah. Focus on
And
our performance.
yeah, and you gotta tell them what the benefits of that package is gonna
Mhm. Mhm.
bring. Okay,
Mhm. Mhm.
what's the guarantee on this? Put a
Yeah.
disclaimer. You
Yeah.
can't make no guarantees because if they don't do the work, you
Mm.
ain't gonna get no results. But they understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Be consistent.
Yeah. From one comment that I have seen, I also agree with Sacred Storyline that she's talking about continue is necessary in any field where you work with people. I agree. So many ways, so many fields that we can help people, help the others. Yeah, agree. Keep continue helping the others. That is the key. But the process is different. If you know different process, we can match with the client's needs. That it will be more effectively to helping the others as well.
And it's important for you to know what kind of client you want to work with. I don't want to just work with anybody, okay? You got a problematic person. I don't want to work with that person. I don't care if you're going to offer me $1 million. No, you can give that money to another coach. I don't want it, okay? What type of client are you looking for? Are they professionals? Are they what's the age group of these people? Where do they hang out? What do they like? It's all strategy. You have to have all this figured out, but you can't figure it all out at one time. It takes baby steps. You figure it out. Well, what can I do in the meantime while I'm trying to figure out all of these other things? Okay. So it's baby steps. So I hope this was helpful for everybody. If you have any further questions, please feel free, Usa and do you have your Substack up, right?
Can you help me? I don't know.
Yeah, we can trade. We can do a trade. You can help me with the PCC, and I'll help you. I'll help you with your website. No problem. I got you.
Thank you. And also thank you for all the comments and the questions as well in our session today.
Yes, and continuing education is very important because regulations, standards are changing on a like the ICF. They changed their standards in 3 years? Okay, so we have to keep up with the technology and incorporate it in our business and what we're doing, so we won't fall behind, get left behind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Agree.
yeah, yeah. So, did you have any final suggestions or recommendations for everyone? Usa?
Yeah. So I agree with we have so many modalities, frameworks helping people. So try to find and keep understanding deeper goal of the client, what exactly they need, what exactly they want, and try to match with our process that we have learned, that we have experienced. Maybe it's not only the coaching process, it can be therapist, it can be consultant, it can be anything, but try to match with the clients. Think about the clients first, and then we provide what we have to match with their needs. I think this is the key. But since we are a coach, I'm into this process already. I would like to become a master with this process. That is my opinion. What about you, Margaret? What about you?
Well, you are the master, okay? We just keep elevating. We just keep raising the bar, okay? Because that's what's happening with society, and we see all these changes that are being made, and all these things are being forced upon us. So how can we continue to navigate in these unpredictable times, right?
Yeah, right. And the measurement is the feedback from the clients. That is also important. If the feedback is always positive, always good that we receive, that we have, that could help us to prove that what we are doing, that it's right, that is correct. Keep going, keep doing that.
And that is working. And that is working, right? That's why I say we have to continue to ask for feedback from our subscribers so we can continue to raise the bar, because we don't want to develop products and services they don't want or need, because that's a waste of our time and energy. So we need to keep asking people for feedback, positive and negative, so we can continue to grow. That's the only way we're going to do it, right?
Yes.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes.
So thank you all very much for attending today. And I hope this was helpful for all you guys. And thank you all for your continued support. I appreciate you. Thank you, Usa. I'll be in touch. Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye.